2-6, the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is derived from completing the square. And so when we do that, we end up getting that x will always equal negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, remember that when we use this formula, it has to be set equal to 0. So a, b, and c have to be in order of x squared, x, and the constant. And they all have to be on the same side of the equation with 0 on the other side. And once we have that, we can substitute all those in. Okay, so if b is negative 4, a negative 4 is actually positive, so you can always think opposite b. Plus or minus square root, that means that there's two different answers. There's one with the plus and one with the minus. B squared, if you are using a calculator, it is imperative that you put that negative in parentheses in order for your calculator to read it correctly. A is 3, C is negative 9, all over 2 times 3. All right, from there, we're just using our algebra skills to simplify. So I already said that negative 4 is positive 4. You can use your brain, you can use your calculator, whatever. We're doing negative 4 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 9. If you want to use Desmos, feel free. And so that looks like negative 4 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 9. And that is 124. So that's square root of 124 all over 6. Now, this is an answer, okay? I type 4 plus square root of 124 all over 6 in my calculator. It gives me a crazy decimal. Like, it is valid. However, 124 can simplify. So you may know that 4 times 31 is 124. I did not right off the top of my head. So you may need to make a factor tree like you did in elementary school. So where you take the number, I know that it's even, so I know that it's divisible by 2. And if I do that, I get 62. And that's even again, so I know that's divisible by 2 to get 31. All right, those are all my list of primes. So 2 times 2 is 4. So this is square root of 4 times 31. And the square root of 4 is 2, so I can bring that on the outside. Square root of 31, that's just prime. It's going to stay square root of 31 all over 6. Okay. You can think of these as two separate fractions if it's easier for you. For some people, that's a little easier to see why we reduce each fraction. So I'm going to reduce fractions, and when I do that, I can only do the numbers on the outside. So last but not least, I get x equals 2/3 plus or minus square root of 31 over 3 as well, because 2/6 reduces to 1/3. So this is a valid answer, but it is most commonly written as 2 plus or minus square root of 31 all over 3. So this is how most things would want it written. So like an ACT test, anything like that's probably going to have it like the one I circled. Many people with practice will be able to skip that middle step, but I just wanted you to see that it's really just reducing fractions to get to that last step. All right, so quadratic formula works always, Okay, 100% of the time. Those things that you have been factoring and you hate factoring, you may use the quadratic formula. Notice the quadratic formula can be longer when it has a whole lot of steps, but at least you know it works 100% of the time, and that it will, well, basically that it works. So it's kind of one of those choose your own adventures, but quadratic formula will always work, but sometimes it's the longer way to do it.